Hey everyone, it's June and I'm back with another Shadowscope for you guys. So this month's draw is completion from the Osho Zen Tarot. So what's the energy of completion anyway, and what does this look like? Some different ways this can show up for us is as a goal being accomplished, or perhaps a season in our lives that is coming to an end. Whatever the reason, this energy is an indication that our work in a particular area of our lives is now finished. Now, most of the time, this is the moment when we just celebrate our accomplishment, or perhaps we even reflect on the journey that we've just gone through. But what no one ever really talks about are the underlying feelings that just sort of naturally come about when we face different types of endings in our lives. Now, we know that there's duality present in all things, which is why completion or endings can bring up some conflicting emotions depending on how you're looking at stuff. Some of us may feel proud about what we've just accomplished. Others are already looking forward to what comes next. But in the middle of all of this excitement, there's also this element of sorrow and maybe a little bit of loss for what was. So when we complete something, our time in that space is over. And the loss or sadness that comes from that is really this realization that can often feel heavy, even though we're surrounded by all this positive energy around what we've just achieved. Now, it's normal to feel confused or even conflicted when we experience both of these opposing emotions at the same time. However, this conflict is actually your cue to cultivate a new dynamic for the way that you see things, and also to process any sense of sadness, loss, or grief about this transition that's about to take place for you. It's also the perfect time to figure out how you can really acknowledge and celebrate this time in your life so that you can walk away feeling more at peace. If you're looking to do some shadow work this month, there are 3 key areas that Spirit's asking us to look into. They are endings and beginnings, processing transitions, and lessons learned. Now, let's take a minute to go through each one of these topics briefly so you have a good idea of where you might want to start doing some shadow work for yourself this month. First up, let's touch on endings and beginnings. Endings and new beginnings can be difficult as they often involve saying goodbye to what we've known, and at the same time, they're asking us to start something brand new. Now, endings seem to have a way of bringing up, these feelings of maybe sadness or regret, as we could mourn the loss of, things like relationships, jobs, opportunities, things like that. And at the same time, these new beginnings can be, they can feel daunting or overwhelming as we're navigating very unfamiliar terrain and being asked to take a chance on what's next. So in order to move forward in a healthy way, it's really important to acknowledge both the loss and the opportunities that are inherent in change. The second thing we want to look at is processing transitions. Now, transitions can be rough for many reasons. It's human nature to really stick to what's comfortable and familiar, and let's face it, change can be kind of scary. So when we move through transitions in our lives, it often requires us to let go of some aspect of our past in order to embrace an unknown future. And that trajectory can feel overwhelming to even the best of us, especially when we're also experiencing this sense of loss and uncertainty about the future. That's why we really need to give ourselves time to process our transitions in a healthy way, because it gives us the space to move more easily from one thing to the next. And this work that we do, it also allows us to really honor our emotions, acknowledge our fears, and just ultimately move forward with greater confidence and purpose. Now, it's important to remember that everyone processes transitions differently, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. What's really important is just finding a strategy that works best for you. Now, last but not least, we want to go over the topic of lessons learned. As your experience with something comes to a close, it's important to take stock of what you've learned and the self-growth that has taken place for you. Reflecting on what made the experience so special can also help you identify what to look for in future endeavors. Now, while it can be difficult to let go of something that has brought you so much joy and fulfillment, and all sorts of different things, it's also important to acknowledge, the excitement of what's to come. So finding ways to celebrate the experience and say goodbye can definitely help making moving forward a more positive experience for you. Now, overall, when we think of the energy of completion in our lives, it's important to recognize that while this chapter might be ending, it doesn't really negate the value of what was gained. And moving through it more mindfully can help us build some excitement for the next chapter of our lives. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel for more like-minded content. And if you'd like to do some shadow work with me, in this area, you can always schedule a one-on-one session with me through my website. Or another option for you guys is you can follow me on Instagram, because I'm going to be posting free prompts, helpful information, and shadow work ideas on this topic all month long. So until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful day.